What's up everyone, welcome to another video. So do you remember when we were kids and we would go to somewhere like HMV and Virgin Megastore and actually pick up a CD and then we would listen to it in the car on the way to school or on our Walkman, or we'd go home and plug it into our computer or our 3-disc changer stereo, and then the next day we would talk to our friends about it at school, or maybe we would talk to them on MSN Messenger about it, about how good of an album it was, or how we were a bit disappointed, a bit like, yeah, that song wasn't very good. Well, those were the days, weren't they? But however, I'm now 30 years old. I can't exactly just go hang out with my friends and talk to them about how good the new Offspring album is. And you know what? It is a pretty good album. I would give it a 7 out of 10 for songwriting, but actual structure of the album, I would change things and put the tracks in a different order, first and foremost. But also there were some things about this album where I was like, that's a bit different. Which we will get into, guys. But of course, first, could you please hit the subscribe button? That would be absolutely legendary. Now, I can't talk to my friends on MSN anymore about how good the new Offspring album is, and I can't exactly go and hang out with them, but that's the beauty of social media. I haven't done an album review in a while. I was gonna do one for Machine Gun Kelly's album a few months ago, but more or less every music channel did a review on that album, so yeah, there was nothing that I could possibly add to that conversation. The Offspring, however, that album literally came out today, I think it was. I went out for a run this morning and listened to the whole thing in one go. I love doing that. I love going out for a run and listening to an entire album. This one, you know it's an Offspring album. You know why? Because they start off with a fast song. The Offspring really know how to structure an album. They always tend to start off with a fast song. You've got The Noose on Splinter, you've got Have You Ever on Americana, you've got Come Out Swinging on Conspiracy of One, and then you've also got fast songs on the other album. There's All I Want on the Ixnay album. The first track on this new album is called This Is Not Utopia, and in typical The Offspring fashion, yeah, it's a fast song, starting off strong with a fast song. I like that. It gave me high hopes for this album. The Offspring always have fast song. They have the mainstream catchy song like Want You Bad, Hit That on the album Splinter, Original Prankster on Conspiracy of One. And on this album, it happens to be the title track, Let the Bad Times Roll. This one you might have already heard. It's actually been released for quite a few weeks, and I think they released the music video for it a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I would say that's the mainstream catchy song on this album. Then the Offspring always do the heavier, more rocky songs as well. Think about tracks like Million Miles Away, The Kids Aren't Alright, Can't Get My Head Around You. And on this album, I would say it's the song Coming For You. However, this song's actually been released for 6 years now. Yeah, this was a single which was released 6 years ago, which now happens to be on this album. So again, you've probably already heard it, nothing new there, but I would say that that's the rockier song, and it's probably one of the more heavy songs on this album as well. Then the Offspring always have to have a few joke songs in there, don't they? On Days Go By, it was Bumping in My Trunk. I actually really love that song. It's so catchy, it's so good. There was Worst Hangover Ever on Splinter, Pretty Fly for a White Guy, She's Got Issues, Why Don't You Get a Job? All of them I think were on Americana. Come to think of it, like nearly half the songs on that album were joke songs. That's pretty funny, isn't it? There's only really one of them on this album, and it's We Don't Have Sex Anymore, which I think is track number 7. And this is where the album actually starts to pick up. Believe it or not, the album actually picks up at around track number 6 or 7. When Coming For You comes on, that's when the album actually started getting really good for me. And after the instrumental track 8, which is a cover of In the Hall of the Mountain King, track 9, the Opioid Diaries, and track 10, I think it is, the Hassan chop. Those are my 2 favorite tracks on the entire album. Why are they track number 9 and 10, which I'll just discuss, right? So you guys have probably noticed this, right? When bands are releasing an album, they'll typically put 2 or 3 bangers right at the beginning. Then in the middle, they'll slow it down. Then maybe track 6 or 7, they'll have a real slow song. And then they'll pick back up again. And then towards the end, they might have a ballad or a slow song at the end, okay? Think about track 7 on Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park is in the end, right? Coincidentally, I think track 7 on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket by Blink-182, Stay Together for the Kids, it might be track 6. Just going off the top of my head here. Enema of the State album, track 7, Adam's Song. Track 5 on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is Story of a Lonely Guy. So the slow songs are definitely in the middle, right? They're usually in the middle. The one thing I didn't like about this album and why I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 rating is because it is slow. It is slower, so much slower than their other albums. The songs are good, the songwriting is good, but you get This Is Not Utopia and Let the Bad Times Roll, and then it slows down dramatically for about 6 songs. You've got 3 sort of slow-ish medium songs, then you've got track number 6, Coming For You, which is the one we've already heard, the sort of slightly rocky song. Track number 7, you've got the jokey song, then you've got a little sort of jokey cover, track number 8 to pick it back up again, and finally track number 9 and track number 10. I'm like, well, these are the bangers. Why was this not track number 3? At least one of those should have been track number 3, I think, and then take one of those boring tracks 3 and 4 out, Behind Your Walls or Army of One, and put them towards the end. That's what I would have done. I would have just structured that slightly differently. Because the Opioid Diaries and the Hassan chop leading into the slowed down piano acoustic-y cover of their 1997 song Gone Away, that is amazing. If you haven't heard it, go check it out right away. As soon as this video closes, go check out the new version of Gone Away that they released. I think they released it today or very recently. Amazing song, great rendition of it. There's 12 tracks, right? 12 tracks on this album. Track number 1, This Is Not Utopia. Fast, right? Then it goes medium, 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 joke, slightly faster 1 minute instrumental, and then 2 fast songs, okay? So by track 10, we've only had 4 real fast, super good, exciting songs, which is not the Offspring's usual formula. Usually it goes like fast, fast, catchy, or like fast, catchy, fast, or fast, catchy, fast, medium speed, joke song, another fast song, whereas this one just felt like it was like fast, mainstream song, and then slow, 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 slow. And then finally slightly faster, and then fast, fast, and then slow again, and then end. So there was no rise, and then peak, and then rise a bit more, and then acoustic at the end. It was just like rise, and then medium, 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 rise, end. That's the only thing I didn't like about this album, okay? Otherwise, great album. I would say it's about as good as Splinter, which wasn't my favorite one of their albums, but certainly had some good songs on it, had some good bangers on it, and I like the song Doughy, that was just really fun. Again, equal to about Days Go By, like I said, I really like the title track of that album, and I like Bumpin' in My Trunk. That's just so catchy and a good joke song as well. The vocals, the production, everything on this album is great. Dexter sounds fantastic. The guitar parts are written great. I'm wondering if there's slight, not change in sound, because it's still your typical sort of skate punk, punk rock, the Offspring songs, with 1 or 2 songs dotted in there which have the ska influence. For example, Worst Hangover Ever, Why Don't You Get a Job, slowed down sort of more jokey ska influence songs as well. That's all on there, like it's all there on there, but the fast songs aren't there so much. I wonder if that has anything to do with their bass player Greg Kay leaving, perhaps, or being dismissed even. He didn't leave, he was dismissed. And there was a big court case about it. I don't know what the situation is there. Perhaps they were going in a different creative direction, trying to go for the more rocky side of things, which they've done with this album. This album's definitely a punk rock album, but there's a lot more rock and melodic rock to it. Then there was punk rock in there, right? But still really, really good. Definitely worth a listen. When you're next out on a long drive, out on a long walk, out on a long run, go to the gym to work out, put some good headphones on and definitely give it a listen, guys. I'm sure if you've clicked on this video, you've probably already listened to the album as well, or you're an Offspring fan. It's extremely likely, as you know, the keywords in the title and the description are all about the Offspring. Let me know what you think and how it compared. What is your favorite The Offspring album? Mine is probably Americana, because that came out when I was about 7 years old, and when I first heard Pretty Fly for a White Guy, because that was a big mainstream hit for them, that's what kind of started my infatuation with their music. And then Conspiracy of One came out, and it had the bangers like Want You Bad on it, which again was on the American Pie 2 soundtrack, which I absolutely loved. It's just like story of my childhood right there, like watching American Pie movies, skateboarding, and listening to punk rock and pop punk bands, right? Gotta love that. Can't beat that, right? Or like sitting there playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or 4 and listening to all of the skate punk bands on there like Millencolin, The Offspring, Bad Religion. Super glad I put this review out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it. Which is your favorite Offspring song or favorite performance or favorite album? Let's get the conversation going. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.